This is a recap of Wednesday, September 30th. We had a few announcements today at the beginning of class, and one of the announcements was how important it is to join Math 7 resources and that we would have office hours. So I want to talk about that first. So I'm going to go to the Math 7 resources, and if you want to come and ask questions um, or make comments or you have just any help at all, then at between 8 o'clock and 8:30 or between 2 o'clock and 2:30, you come to Math Resources and you click right here and there will be a meet that's open and you can come in, and there probably won't be very many people there at any one time, and you can come and ask for help. So that was an important announcement. In fact, we went there today during class. When we had work time, some of us went to the Math 7 resource meet, which I opened up so that you could ask your questions with just a few people around. So that was an important thing that we announced today. And we spent most of the period working on this assignment. So week 2, the CAMI week 2. Now that I see it, there was another announcement. If I click on F5, notice that the SMART score of 60, it's been changed from a 90 to a 60. So you only need to get a SMART score of 60 on IXL F5. And then what we did for the main part of the period was CAMI week 2. So when you click on this, it's going to open up your assignment that looks like this, and you're going to want to open it with CAMI. So when you open it with CAMI, then you get tools. So I'm going to, I have that open somewhere else, so I'm going to actually close this window out or go to the other window. And what we did was we worked on it together. So I'll show you periods 1, 2, and 3. So period 1, it looked like this. You can use your text tools or your writing tools. And notice I put text here and I put writing here. And so we talked about the greatest common factor, and we did these problems. And we did the greatest common factor of 24 and 36 by listing out the factors. And then we simplified 20 50ths by dividing both 20 and 50 by 10 to get 2/5. Next, we did the greatest common factor of 20 and 50. And we had an interesting discussion on the difference between a factor and a multiple. So these are the factors, and this is 10 is the greatest number that's in both of the lists. That was period 1. Period 2, we did the same thing. We also notice that I'm not sure why there's a T right there. We just want to put our target of simplify fractions. And by the way, we are going to finish this document tomorrow. We're going to work on it together. We did the same thing, period 2. The greatest common factor, I guess I didn't talk about it in the last one, between 24 and 36 is 12. And on the side, I guess on this one, I listed factors and we talked about them some more, just still more discussion on what a factor is. And right here you can see 24 times 1, 12 times 2. These are all multiplication problems that equal 24. And then period 3, it should look very similar. Simplifying fractions. One of the discussions that we had, excuse me, was if you didn't know that 45 divided by 15 was 3, that was okay. You could divide by anything in both lists. You could divide by 1. That's not going to get you too far. Divide by, well, I guess I'm looking at the wrong list. You could divide by 3. You could divide by 5. And 15 is the largest one, and that gets us right to the simplified fraction. So if this is a challenge for you, it's completely understandable, and what I have for you right now is some extra notes for you to take. So I would, for the next 6 minutes, take notes on this very good instruction on the difference between multiples and factors.
Guys, I'm Katie from How to Become. Welcome back to my videos for basic maths. The focus for this video is multiples and factors. Now before I get started, don't forget to subscribe for my whole range of basic maths videos. Please leave comments, share my video and give it a like. Okay, so what am I going to teach you? So I'm going to teach you what are multiples and what are factors, how to work out the lowest common multiple and how to work out the highest common factor. Okay, so what are multiples? So for this, it's best that you learn your times tables. So multiples basically means your times tables, okay? So that's why I'm telling you to make sure you know your times tables off by heart. So I've given you a quick grid for your multiplications, okay? So of course you probably know all of these by now, but if you don't, this is just to recap and refresh your memory, okay? So what are multiples? So the best way to teach you is by example. So the multiples of 3. So think your 3 times tables. So you've got 1 times 3 is 3, 2 times 3 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9, 4 times 3 is 12, and so on. So the multiples of 3 are 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, and so forth, okay? So it's basically just recalling and reciting your 3 times tables. Let's take a look at another example, so the multiples of 8. So again, think your 8 times tables. So we've got 1 times 8 is 8, 2 times 8 is 16, 3 times 8 is 24, 4 times 8 is 32. So multiples of 8 are 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, and so forth. Okay, so what are factors? Okay, so again, you will also need to think your times tables. So factors are numbers that divide exactly into another number. So let me make this clearer with an example. So the factors of 12. So you need to find all the numbers that can be divided into 12. So we've got 1 times 12 is 12, 2 times 6 is 12, 3 times 4 is 12. So in ascending order, the factors of 12 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12, okay? Because all of these numbers can be divided into 12. So let's take a look at another example. So the factors of 60. So what numbers can be divided into 60? So we've got 1 times 60 is 60, 2 times 30 is 60, 3 times 20 is 60, 4 times 15 is 60, 5 times 12 is 60, and 6 times 10 is 60. So in ascending order, the factors of 60 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 12, 15, 20, 30, and 60. Okay, because all of these numbers can be divided into 60. Okay, so the lowest common multiple. So the lowest common multiple is the smallest number that is shared by 2 or more numbers. So let's use an example. So the lowest common multiple of 9 and 4. So first of all, you need to do the first few 9 times tables. So I've gone up to 90 here. And again, you do it for the other number. So I've gone up to 40 for the 4 times table. And then you need to find a number that they both share, which is the smallest common multiple. As you can see, both numbers have 36, and this is the lowest common multiple that both 9 and 4 share. So the lowest common multiple of 9 and 4 is 36. So the highest common factor, so to work out the highest common factor, you need to work out the factors for each number and then work out which number appears for both, i.e. the highest common factor. So the highest common factor of 24 and 18. So here are your factors for 24. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, 24. And for 18, we've got 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, and 18. So you need to find the highest common factor, okay? As you can see, 6 occurs in both sets of numbers, and it's the highest common factor that both of these numbers share. So the highest common factor of 24 and 18 is 6. Okay, so hopefully now you have a better understanding of multiples and factors. For more practice questions, we have...
Notice how she called it the highest common factor, and we called it the greatest common factor. It is the same thing, the highest common factor and the greatest common factor. So what we're going to do tomorrow is continue with that week 2 Kami assignment. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you're all caught up and ready to go tomorrow. There's office hours. If you're watching this before 2 o'clock, we're going to be open at 2 o'clock, and then tomorrow at 8 o'clock.